What do you mean I ain't got no manners? I'm a regular gent, I am. Permit me to assist you across the road.
Fame seemed like the ultimate dream: luxury, fans, and endless attention. But for this child star, the reality was far darker. Beneath the flashing lights was a life filled with heartbreak, struggle, and shattered hopes. Want to know the truth behind their fall from grace? Keep watching. You won't believe what really happened. Jack Wilde's battle against addiction. Jack Wilde's life became more difficult after he found early success. One of the main challenges he dealt with was being typecast. Jack always looked younger than his age, which helped him when he got the role of the artful Dodger in Oliver. As he got older, looking young became difficult for him. Even in his 20s, Jack was still getting parts intended for teenagers. This frustrated him because he wanted to play more adult parts and prove he could do more. He felt trapped in the same kinds of roles repeatedly. Jack was really influenced by his difficulty in finding a job that felt important. His early fame and money started to decline as job offers decreased, which didn't help. Feeling confused, Jack turned to alcohol, which led to major problems in his life. By the time Jack turned 20, he had started drinking a lot. What began as casual drinking turned into something he couldn't manage. He turned to alcohol to deal with the stress and disappointment from his struggling job. Sadly, it just made things worse. Jack's drinking created issues in his personal life. He started to distance himself from the people who cared about him, like his friends and family. Gaynor, his wife, tried to help him, but Jack refused to listen. The more he drank, the more alone he felt. Jack had a hard time handling his money. When he was younger, he made a lot of money from his parts in Oliver and HR Puffed Stuff. Instead of saving, he spent all his money on a fancy lifestyle, buying houses and cars for his family and living like a celebrity. After Jack stopped getting acting jobs, he ended up having money problems. He had to depend on jobless benefits to survive, but most of that money went right to buying more alcohol. By the late 1970s, Jack's drinking began to seriously harm his health. He was diagnosed with acute pancreatitis, a painful and dangerous disease caused by heavy alcohol use. His doctors told him that if he didn't stop drinking, it could be fatal. Even after hearing this, Jack struggled to stop. He tried to drink less by staying away from hard liquor and only having beer or wine, but it didn't work. His health got worse, and he had to go to the hospital several times. Jack had 3 heart attacks before turning 40, which showed just how harmful his drinking was. Jack faced challenges both in his body and in his mind. In 1985, while practicing for a play, he started to have hallucinations and believed that thieves were after him. He was so scared that he thought his heart might stop again. This resulted in him being taken to a hospital because of mental health reasons. Jack's problem had impacted all areas of his life. Even with all that happened, Jack still wasn't ready to quit. He realized he needed help and went to a clinic for people with drinking problems. He seemed to be getting better for a while. He stayed sober for 6 weeks after leaving the clinic. Unfortunately, he made the mistake of enjoying his success with a bottle of champagne, which caused him to relapse. This cycle of getting clean and then going back to drinking went on for years. Jack wanted to quit drinking but found it incredibly difficult to break the loop. Despite his challenges, he had times where he showed true strength and determination. He made sure not to drink or smoke in public because he didn't want his young fans to follow his bad habits. Jack's drinking led to the end of his marriage. In 1985, Gaynor asked for a divorce after trying to help him for 9 years. Jack later said that his drinking was the main reason for their divorce. Losing Gaynor was very hard for Jack, but it made him realize how much his addiction had taken from him. By the late 1980s, Jack was in a very bad place. He had lost his job, his money, and his wife. He understood that if he didn't make a change, he could lose his life as well. In 1989, Jack joined a support group for people with drinking problems and was able to stay sober for a long time. This time, he was set on staying clean for good. Jack's healing was tough and took a long time, but it changed his life for the better. Being sober helped him start putting his life back together after his struggles with drugs. Even though Jack could never completely get away from the harm that alcohol caused to his health and work, he showed great strength in his effort to overcome his problems. His story shows how tough it is to deal with addiction and how important it is to get help and make a change. The rise of Jack Wilde. Jack Wilde was born on September 30th, 1952, in Royton, England. He grew up in a working-class family and experienced a modest childhood. Life wasn't easy for Jack and his family, as money was often tight. To help out, Jack and his older brother Arthur took on small jobs like delivering milk. These early responsibilities taught Jack the value of hard work, even at a young age. Jack's life began to change when he was just 11 years old. He and Arthur loved playing football with their friends in the neighborhood. One day, while playing a casual game, they crossed paths with a boy named Phil Collins. Yes, the same Phil Collins who would later become a world-famous musician. Phil's mother, June Collins, happened to be nearby. As luck would have it, she was a theatrical agent. She saw something special in the two brothers and decided to approach them. June Collins introduced Jack and Arthur to the Barbara Speake Stage School, a well-known performing arts school in London. At first, Jack wasn't particularly excited about acting. In fact, both he and his brother were skeptical about the whole idea. Acting wasn't something they dreamed of doing. It was simply a chance to try something new and maybe earn a bit more money than their milk delivery jobs. However, after some convincing, the brothers agreed to attend the school. Once enrolled, Jack began to learn about acting and performing. The Barbara Speake Stage School was full of talented kids, and Jack was eager to see where this new path might take him. He soon landed his first big opportunity, a role in the West End production of Oliver, a musical adaptation of Charles Dickens's classic novel, Oliver Twist. Jack was cast as Charlie Bates, a small but important role in the play. He had his sights set on a bigger part, though. Jack auditioned multiple times for the role of the Artful Dodger, a lively and mischievous character. Unfortunately, he was repeatedly told that he was too short for the part. This was frustrating for Jack, but he didn't let it discourage him. He continued working hard and building his skills as an actor. During these early years, Jack formed meaningful connections with other performers. One of the most important relationships he developed was with a fellow student named Gaynor Jones. The two quickly became friends while studying together at the stage school. Although Jack left the school 2 years later, fate would bring them back together. In 1970, they reconnected, and 6 years later, Jack and Gaynor were happily married. Even though Jack's role as Charlie Bates in Oliver wasn't his dream role, it was an important stepping stone in his career. He learned a lot about performing on stage and began to make a name for himself in the world of theater. His natural talent and charisma started to shine, and people began to take notice. Jack's early experiences in acting laid the foundation for the incredible journey that awaited him. He discovered that with hard work and determination, even someone from a modest background could achieve great things. These formative years helped shape Jack into the performer he would later become, setting the stage for his rise to stardom and his unforgettable role as the Artful Dodger. Despite the challenges he faced early on, including being told he was too short for certain roles, Jack never gave up. His perseverance and passion for performing would soon pay off in ways he couldn't have imagined. Little did he know, his time on stage in Oliver was just the beginning of an incredible journey that would take him from the West End to Hollywood. By staying focused and determined, Jack Wilde showed that even the most unexpected opportunities could lead to success. His early life and breakthrough in acting were filled with moments of hard work, friendship, and resilience. These experiences not only helped him grow as an actor, but also set the stage for the fame and recognition he would achieve in the years to come. Jack Wilde's rise to fame began in 1968 when he landed the role of the Artful Dodger in Carol Reed's film adaptation of Oliver. This was the role he had dreamed of playing for years. Jack had auditioned for the Artful Dodger many times but was always told he was too short. When the opportunity finally came, it changed his life forever. The Artful Dodger was a lively, cheeky character, and Jack brought a special charm and energy to the role that made audiences fall in love with him. However, getting the role wasn't easy. Even after being cast, Jack faced challenges on set because of his small stature. His co-star, Mark Lester, who played Oliver, was taller than him, which created a problem since the Dodger was supposed to look older and more confident. To fix this, the filmmakers gave Jack special shoes to make him appear taller. They also built him a custom high chair, labeled Dodger Jack, for use during breaks. Despite these obstacles, Jack never let his height get in the way of delivering a fantastic performance. Jack's portrayal of the Artful Dodger was so good that it earned him international praise. He received an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor, making him the fourth youngest nominee in history at the time. Although he didn't win, his talent didn't go unnoticed. Even Jack Albertson, the actor who won the award that year, approached Jack at the ceremony to apologize and admit that he thought Jack deserved the Oscar. This kind of recognition showed just how much of an impact Jack had made with his performance. The success of Oliver also brought Jack fame beyond the UK. When he traveled to Los Angeles for the Oscars, he was greeted with a giant billboard that read, "Hollywood welcomes Jack Wilde." It was a moment that showed how far he had come from his humble beginnings in Royton. He was now a star recognized around the world. After Oliver, Jack's career skyrocketed. In 1969, he starred in H.R. Pufnstuf, a colorful and imaginative TV show about a boy stranded on a magical island. The show was a huge hit in the United States, introducing Jack to a whole new audience. His character Jimmy became a favorite among kids, and the series' success led to a movie adaptation. The popularity of H.R. Pufnstuf solidified Jack's place as a beloved actor, especially among younger viewers. But acting wasn't the only thing Jack was good at. He was also a talented singer. Between 1970 and 1972, he signed with Capitol Records and Buddha Records to start a musical career. During this time, he released 3 albums and several singles. His most popular song, "Some Beautiful," became a hit and showed that Jack was more than just an actor. His music gave fans another way to connect with him and expanded his already growing popularity. As Jack's fame grew, so did the media's interest in him. By the time he was 20 years old, he had become a teen heartthrob, often mentioned alongside other young stars like David Cassidy and Barry Williams. His charming personality and boyish good looks made him a favorite of fans and the press alike. Jack's life during this time was filled with luxury and excitement. Thanks to the success of Oliver and H.R. Pufnstuf, he became a millionaire at a very young age. He enjoyed all the perks of being a star, including custom-made suits, fine dining at exclusive restaurants, and personal chauffeurs who drove him wherever he needed to go. Jack could afford anything he wanted, and he lived a life that many people could only dream of. Despite his success, Jack faced challenges as he transitioned from being a child star to an adult actor. His youthful appearance and small stature often led to him being typecast in roles for younger characters. While these roles helped establish his career early on, they became frustrating as he got older. By the time he was 21, he was still being offered roles meant for teenagers, which limited his opportunities and left him feeling stuck. Even so, Jack continued to work hard and explore new opportunities. His musical career gave him a chance to showcase his versatility, and his albums allowed him to connect with fans in a different way. Songs like "Some Beautiful" became hits, and his performances further cemented his status as a multi-talented entertainer. Jack's rise to fame was remarkable. In just a few short years, he went from being a boy delivering milk in Royton to an international star celebrated for his talent and charisma. His performance in Oliver not only earned him critical acclaim, but also opened the door to new opportunities in film, television, and music. However, the fame and fortune that brought Jack so much joy also came with its own set of challenges. As his career progressed, he faced the pressure of living up to expectations and navigating the complexities of being in the spotlight. These challenges would soon test Jack in ways he never could have imagined. For now, though, Jack Wilde was on top of the world. His talent, hard work, and determination had made him one of the most popular young stars of his time. While the road ahead would be filled with ups and downs, his rise to stardom remains a testament to his incredible abilities and the lasting impact he had on audiences around the world. Jack Wilde's triumph. After years of struggling with addiction and health problems, Jack Wilde began to rebuild his life and career. In 1991, he returned to acting with a role in the blockbuster movie Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Jack played a small but memorable part alongside stars like Kevin Costner. Although it wasn't a leading role, it marked an important step in his comeback. Jack also went back to his roots in theater. He took on roles in stage productions like The Wizard of Oz, where he played the Cowardly Lion and Jack and the Beanstalk. Performing live allowed Jack to reconnect with his love for entertaining audiences, which had first inspired him as a child. During this time, Jack met Claire Harding while working on one of his stage performances. At first, Claire expected Jack to be arrogant, given his fame and past struggles. However, she quickly discovered that he was kind and down to earth. The two grew close and eventually began a relationship that lasted for over a decade. By 1989, Jack had achieved lasting sobriety after years of battling his addiction. This was a turning point in his life. He worked hard to stay sober and focus on his health and happiness. In 2005, Jack and Claire decided to make their relationship official and got married. According to Claire, their decision to marry wasn't influenced by Jack's health challenges but by their deep commitment to each other. Despite his efforts to turn his life around, Jack faced another major challenge in 2001 when he was diagnosed with oral cancer. He hadn't even heard of this type of cancer before, but doctors told him it was likely caused by years of heavy smoking and drinking. Jack fought the disease with determination, undergoing chemotherapy to try and beat the cancer. When the chemotherapy didn't work, he underwent a major surgery in 2004. The operation removed his tongue and voice box, leaving him unable to speak. This was a devastating blow for someone whose career relied so much on his voice. Even after losing his ability to speak, Jack didn't give up. He continued to perform in non-speaking roles, showing incredible resilience. One of his most memorable performances during this time was in a production of Cinderella, where he played the role of Baron Hardup. The character was written to fit Jack's condition, and he used mime to bring the role to life. Audiences praised his performance, and it proved that Jack's talent went far beyond words. Jack also became an advocate for cancer awareness and research. He wanted to help others facing similar struggles and supported organizations like Cancer Research UK. His determination to raise awareness showed his strength and kindness, even in the face of his illness. In 2005, Jack took on his final on-screen role in the low-budget thriller Moussaka and Chips. Although it was a small film, it gave him one last chance to do what he loved. Even more special was the fact that he was reunited with Ron Moody, his co-star from Oliver. Ron had played Fagin, and their friendship had lasted for decades. Jack Wilde passed away in March 2006 at the age of 53, surrounded by loved ones. His life was full of ups and downs, but he left behind a legacy of resilience, talent, and inspiration. He showed the world that even in the face of incredible challenges, it's possible to keep fighting and find joy in doing what you love. And that's the heartbreaking story of how fame became a curse for this child star. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more compelling stories like this.